Hello, folks. Welcome to Oggy's Vloggy. And this time, I'm going to talk about something that I'm quite famous for amongst friends and family and people I know. It's jobs. I've had a stupid amount of jobs in my life. So I'm going to do a vlog and I'm going to go through each one I've had, when and how long I was there. My record is 2.5 years at one place. So I'll play the intro and then I'll go through them all with you. Thank you. Right, are you ready for this? Left school, May 1991. I finished on the Friday and I started at Monmouth Garage as an apprentice car body repairer on the Monday. I was there a year. All I learnt was to sweep up, brew up, rub down cars and tea cut them. And after a year, things back then went on their arse. So I got laid off. I was off work for about 2 months and I got a job at the Trike Works in Padiham. This is in, say, July, August 92. My job was putting sheep's stomachs in a machine. I lasted a day. So it gets to September 92, I get a job at a builder's merchant. Jones's Builders Merchant. I really enjoyed that job. I was driving wagons and driving vans at 18-year-old and I was absolutely loving it. And then it went kaput. The business went under, administrators come in just 2 weeks before Christmas this was. Then my next job was in January, Auto Magic, shoe repairers on the Market Hall in Burnley. January 1994. I was there for a year and I was poached by another firm. I can't remember what he called his firm now, but the guy was called Darrell, and I ended up working in Accrington and Blackburn, but I ended up doing 6 days a week and I absolutely hated it. I should have gone back to Auto Magic because they were trying to get me back and I never did. So I ended up 1995 October, left to go to this job I was promised, which never came up. So I didn't have a job. Lasted 2 days and I got one. R&A Components at Thompson Street in Padiham. Cracking little job. Weren't right much money, but working on injection moulding machines. I got my thumb stuck in and my nail ripped off, one of them. So I lasted there till February 96. No, 97. February 97. And I went to another injection moulding place in Accrington. It was something to do with Lucas. And I went there. I was just, I wasn't on the machines. I was just hauling stuff about, which is what I do. I'm pretty good for that. That's it. It was just hauling things about and I hated it. The place was crap. The people were cliquey. So I thought, I'll have a look for another job. So I went round knocking on factory doors in Padiham. And I knocked on Raymakers and they gave me a job at Raymakers. So I went straight out of there, straight into Raymakers. That was July, August 97. And this time I've met my wife to be, who lived in Blackpool. So it got to March 98. I got a job at Benson's Crisps in Kirkham as I was moving over to Blackpool. And then I'd been for an interview. I thought, I'm never going to get this job after you've heard what I've done in the past. I went for an assistant manager's job at Lidl. And I thought, I've got no chance of getting this. So I goes for the interview. We're in a hotel in a conference room in Manchester, a group interview. And everyone's standing up saying, oh yeah, I've just graduated. Oh yeah, I'm a manager, a line manager at Asda and all this lot. And it was my turn. I'm like, right, what do I do here? So I stood up in my broad Lancashire Burnley accent and says, right, I'm currently working as a labourer in a weaving mill in Burnley. And I think it's about time I got myself a career rather than just a job. 2 weeks later, I got the job. Couldn't believe it. Wish I hadn't have done though. So 98, March 98, I moves over to Blackpool and I start at Lidl as an assistant manager, which was bloody hard work, I'll tell you that. Got to July and I'd had enough. I didn't leave Lidl, but I demoted myself down to a store assistant, and I was actually earning more money. But I couldn't get the grasp of people who I were telling me what to do now. So I worked my way back up again. So by Christmas, I'd become a supervisor, and by the following summer, I'd become a deputy manager again. And then they sent me to the Cleveland's branch, which I absolutely hated. So I managed another year actually. So I got 2.5 years nearly out of this place, and it got to two, 2000, July 2000, and I'd had enough. I were a wreck. I was a right mess. So I thought, right, what can I do? Taxis. So I went taxi driving. As soon as I sat in that taxi, I put 2 stone on. And it just continued to go up. Right, so I was working the taxis. After a year, I got my own car. I had someone driving for me at night, and I'm driving through the day. Then Nicola went driving, so I went out 6 o'clock in the morning till 9. Then I went out window cleaning with Daz, Clearview Windows, Darren. Went out window cleaning with him, and then, like say, my missus were out in the day, and then I had a night driver on. And we did that up until March, after we decided that we were moving up to Scotland. So this is March 2003. Then sold the taxi. Didn't work for Darren anymore because I let him know I was moving, and I said, if you find someone else, get him in. So I ended up working for Peter Perfect on the taxis just till I moved up the road. Right, so we moves up to Scotland, June 2003, with a wad of cash because we'd sold the house for double what it were. Bought a static caravan. It didn't work for 3 months, just enjoyed the summer. Bought a surfboard and all that lot. And then sort of realised we're running out of money here. So I got a job on the campsite, cleaning the toilet block for the campsite itself. Just bits of maintenance around the caravan park, emptying bins, changing gas canisters, even cleaning caravans for customers, for holiday makers and things. And then I got a job in Safeways. That was September. Yeah, September 2003. So I got a job in Safeways. It was only part-time, so I did that and I did the caravan park at the same time. And I'd also applied for a job as a process technician in the cheese factory. It was a new packing plant, seriously strong cheddar, and we was going to be the first ones in there. So I went for 2 interviews with that, a group interview again, and then one-on-one, got the job there. So went to Fuerteventura end of October for an holiday, come back and started at McClellan. And we had the best 2 weeks ever. Best 2 weeks induction you can ever think of. All expenses paid, piss up, in the Northwest Castle Hotel in Stranraer. We were in there like for 2 weeks, more or less, going through things and that, but we had a real laugh at the time. The week after, we went up to Kilmarnock. We went to look at a cheese packing factory. I know it sounds boring, but ours was state of the art. An old-fashioned cheese packing factory. Then we went to Kilmarnock Football Club, had a tour of the ground. Then we had a karaoke and a meal and everything, and got pissed up at night. All expenses paid. And then 2 days later, we went tank driving for a bit of team building exercise. And then when we went into the factory full time, that's when shit hit the fan. It was terrible. Nothing worked. So it got to, I think it was March, just after we'd had Shannon. And I said, I won't mind going on nights, just to help with childcare and stuff like that. I let Nicola have a sleep and stuff like that. So I got promoted to line leader. Well, it was shift leader because it was only the night shift. But I'd had enough of that as well. We had no support or anything. So what I really wanted, well, both of us wanted, was business when we moved up there. I tried to get window cleaning going, but it was pretty slow going because it were only a small place. So we saw a shop for sale in Newton Stewart, which was 25 miles away from where we were, a sandwich shop. So I went and looked at it. The accounts weren't great, or they didn't do bacon butties or breakfast or anything. So I thought, we can make on this, we can build on it, we can build on it definitely. So we bought this shop. Biggest mistake ever. So we moved into this shop in August 2004. Right. I've gone on one, haven't I? Yeah? I've not even gone through my jobs. Well, yeah, well, we're on campsite, Safeway, and then now we're on the shop, yeah. So number 15, number 15 jobs, right? The shop, sandwich shop. Tried as best with it. It failed mainly because we didn't have an extraction system in the shop, and it always stunk of frying and stuff. It were our fault. We should have invested in it, but it is what it is. We had to work it for a couple of years, so I went out window cleaning with my mate Tony, and then I started my own roundup with the help from Tony because he had that much work. He just gave me some. So we've still got the shop. Nicola's working in it with our friend Moira, and Anders full time now. So I've got my own round 3 days a week and working with Tony 2 days a week. And it went to working with Tony 1 day a week because I had so much work. And then stupidly, I decided to go and do a plastering course, thinking I can be a plasterer in 4 days. So I did, and I sold half of my round to pay for it. Stupid idea again. I could do it, but I wasn't great. So I ended up back at that factory again. So I think I was there 6 weeks, and then we decided to move back down. So now we're on. That's number 17. I went back to McClellan cheese packing. So we moved back down to Blackwell. I moved back down while Nicola sold the house and the business and everything. So number 18, I work for a company called Viztech. Self-cleaning windows, right? So I put this application on these windows that makes them supposedly self-cleaning. It wasn't. It was a non-stick coating I was putting on, a polymer coating. Fair enough, the rain washed non-stubborn marks off the windows, but it wasn't self-cleaning at all. They were a bit of a cowboy company as well. So I was there for a year, and that is the only job. I was self-employed actually, but that was the only job I got sacked from. Simple reason is, loads of times I never got paid on a Friday. And my mate Sean Elsender will back me up on this. We was going down to the where they met the chemicals, and they on a training course in I think it was Luton, and we're probably half an hour away from there. So we nipped into this service station to get some breakfast. Went to the cash machine, no money again. He'd not paid me again. So this was like 7:20 in the morning. So I sent him a message saying, "Look, I've no money again. This is becoming a joke now." So I gets one back. "You're the joke. You're fired. Turn back." So I had to drive back. And that was job number 18. So I started doing my own stuff. I bought a van, C. Hodgson Services, like a little bit of plastering jobs, gardening, man and van, anything. Just ask me. If I can't do it, I'll tell you if I can. So I was doing that for a few weeks, and then I got offered a job at Keyline Builders Merchants. Daniel Taylor, my cousin now, gaffer, he said that they're after someone on the agency, our place. So I went along, got the job. Oh, all right, this. Driving a van round, delivering building materials and collecting building materials. But it wasn't full time. So something else come up, another window cleaning job. So I did that. So that's number, what are we on now? 23 now, window cleaning job. 2 days I was there. I couldn't hack it. No. The guy was an absolute cowboy. Oh, we come here right 3 times a week doing these shops. If you miss a couple of windows, I don't miss windows. I'm sorry. That's not me. I do not miss windows. That is totally out of it. So I left and went back to Keyline. They had me back again. So that's twice I've been back to Keyline, right? So gets to October, it were. October 2008. Then laid back Les, the manager, then, "I'm sorry, but we're going to have to let you go." And Keyline didn't know I was there, actually, the company. I shouldn't have been there. he was paying me through. I don't know how we were getting away with it, but he did do. So he let me go. But luckily, I'd had something lined up anyway. A friend of mine, Mark Jones, not Burnley Mark Jones, he worked for Threshers as an area manager. So I got a job as a manager at Threshers. I thought, right, that'll do me. Working Monday to Friday, 9 till 5 more or less. And then Mark told me, he says, I'm leaving now, I'm going to Farm Foods. If I were you, I'd get out now because the company's going to shut. Like, great, another layoff here. So I thought, I'm going to go now before I'm pushed because I don't want it to get to Christmas, the store shuts down and I'm without a job. So I went back on the cabs. First time since we moved back down. So I'm back on the taxis again. So I work in the taxis and I was on Premier. Then I went on J-Cabs. And J-Cabs was okay. Now this was, 2009 now. But when it was weekends, it was dead. When it was kids' holidays, it was dead because it was all contract work. So I thought, right, I'm going to look out for a job. And weird thing is, I just went in to see him at Keyline one day, and one of them laughed and joked, "Oh, are you here for a job again?" I said, "Well, if there's one going, I'll have one." "Oh, just wait a minute. Let's come out." There was a job, and I was actually employed this time. So 2010, I gets a job back at Keyline. But I'm actually employed then. So that's, January, February 2010 that way. Right, so we're going through 2010. It's doing all right, yeah. And then got to summer and it started to quieten off a bit. Last time I wasn't expecting it, but this time I was expecting it. And we're going to have to let you go. This is in the October 2010. Right, great stuff. So I was out of work for 2 weeks. I was on holiday for one of them. And I got a job at Foxy's Biscuits. Foxy's Biscuits. So what we're on now? We're on 28 jobs, I think. Yeah, 28 jobs. Foxy's Biscuits on the packing line. Whoa, not good. I were on nights as well. That was another one, hell on earth. So I thought, I'm going to have to get something else in here. 2 months in, I got promoted to a mixer. Doing the mixes for the biscuits and all that lot. But I just couldn't hack the night shift. I hated doing the night shift. I was sat at home on a Saturday and I was just falling asleep all the time. So I thought, right, I can't go on like this. So I went back on the taxis again. So I'm back on the taxis again. I'm always looking for jobs. And one come up November 2011. This will be November 2011. They were insulating a lot of houses around Blackpool, and there were a place looking for someone to deliver all this insulation, like a bit of a labourer type thing, but a driver. So I went for that. 2 days I lasted. It was crap. So back on the taxis again. So this time I just 2 months on the taxis. It got to March 2012 it'll be now. And I bought my own taxi. Am I going 2000? Yeah, I think it's 2000. I'm lost with years now. So I buys my own taxi. Does a year on, well, up to October on that, and I break my foot. It's something with me. So I breaks my foot. I've got 6 weeks off work. What do? I can't drive. And I can't survive off my night driver because he's just paying me bills, really. And everything I makes profit. So I sold the taxi. And I ended up getting a job. Where was it then? No, I stayed on the taxis actually. I ended up working for somebody again. And that was till 2013, July, I started my man and van business. Another Oggy plan. So starts my man and van business. 4 years I did at that. Yeah, 4 years. And it was good, but up until the end there was loads of people like jumping on it, charging £10 an item and uninsured and things like that. I had my insurance, so I couldn't compete with that £10 an item. I had John to pay as well. So I thought, all right, I'm going to have to look for a job. So I got a job eventually. My old mate Mark Davis from Lidl from years ago was area manager at the Bookers up the road here in Blackpool. So I got a job there. It was only 3 days a week, if that. Within a week, I got promoted to supervisor on night shift. Oh, yeah, this will do for me. Hated it, night shift. So 3 months in, I says to Mark had gone then, it was a different area manager. I said, I want to come back on days. He said, well, what do you want to do? I said, I don't care, I just want to come back on days. He says, right, if you could have a choice, what would you want to do? I said, I'd like to be a driver. So he said, right, leave it with me. 2 days, he comes up to me, he says, right, I'll book you in for your, what do they call it? You have to do 5 days anyway to drive a 7.5 ton wagon. I can't remember it. CPC, that's the one. So I put you in for your CPC. It's a week course. You are going to Lee Cricket Club every day. We'll pay your expenses and everything, and then we'll get you on wagons. We'll get you tachograph and all that lot. So I got that. Thought, yay! Stupid me. I'm always looking for something else. So looking around, and I find a job at Rolf Lives's in Preston, 7.5 ton driver, £2,000 a year more. Right? I thought, yeah, I'll go for that. I got it. First day, hated it. Second day, hated it. What a load of crap that was. And it was a case of you go in at 5 o'clock in the morning. When you finish, you finish. But my job, what they were giving me is the dregs with the looks of it, because I was going to Stockport around there delivering milk and fresh veg to schools and stuff. I'm not setting off well after 8, so I'm not getting there till 9:30, 10 o'clock, and half of them are shut by the time I get to them. I didn't like that, so I quit. I got a job at Builders Supplies in Cleveland. Wow, what a job that was. I absolutely love that job. 5.5 days a week, but I wasn't permanent. I was only part-time. So I'm looking for jobs like I always am. Nothing. And then one of my mates comes in, Zippy. He says, Martin Brown's are after a driver. Do you fancy it? And I'm like, yeah. Leave it with me, Zippy. I'll message you tomorrow. The same day, Vaughan from the Fleetwood branch, he's like the boss man. He come down and he says, we're offering you a full-time position in the shop in Cleveland. I'm like, oh, I don't believe this. What do I do? A job I love, but it's 5.5 days a week, or do I go driving for Martin Brown's for Monday to Friday? A bit less money, but I didn't have to go to Cleveland. So I went to Martin Brown's. So I was there till July the following year, and I got poached off Bookers again. Oh, come back and drive for us. It's a bit more money now as well, and it's a lot better than it was. It's a lot easier. Liars. It was worse, and way worse. It's like I got 4 weeks in, and I couldn't do this. I thought, this is horrible. I had a disco one night on a Saturday at 7 o'clock in St Anne's, and I got there at 7:30. I come straight from work, and Saturdays are usually done by 1, 2 o'clock. So I went back to Mark Brown at Martin Brown's, and he gave me my job back. So I went back to Martin Brown's. So it got to the following year now. I've lost what the year we were on. I think it's about 2007, 2008 maybe. No. Oh, forget the year. Because I forgot it. So I left Martin Brown's and went to somewhere called Booth in Bisping. I was working in the stores, packing up things and picking and all that sort of stuff. It was an all right job, but Have you seen that meme where your supervisor's watching you, like from behind the racking, like that? That's what it was like. There was always somebody watching you. It was awful. Like I say, the job weren't too bad, but it was just like they had to check everything you did, and they were just constantly watching you. Oh, no, I don't like this. So I started looking for another job, and I got another one at Builder Supplies again in Preston. Hey, so goes to Builder Supplies in Preston. Nice job, nice people. Even the gaffer were nice sometimes. He was a really great guy. Don't get me wrong, he was a really nice guy, but he could go like that. He was a bully. He just turned into this horrible, horrible bastard. And I got 6 months in that job, and I thought, I'm going to have to go, or I'm going to lamp this guy. You know, he weren't too bad with me, but with young Mick, one of the younger lads there, it was horrible to him. It was horrible to see, you know, but he did have his moments with me. But I thought, I'm going to have to go here. So I got in touch with my boss, the big boss, and he got me on at Fleetwood. So I went to Fleetwood Builder Supplies. Whether you class this as another job, I don't know. So I was there for 2.5 years. So now we're on number 39 jobs, right? So I've left Builder Supplies, and that's number 39 is Silverfish, which was great for me because it was literally a 5-minute walk up the road. It was 6 days a week, but it was 7 o'clock till 1 o'clock, and sometimes you finished a bit earlier. The money wasn't as good as Builder Supplies, but I didn't have to go to Fleetwood every day, which was half an hour in the car each way. Oh, there was just something I didn't like there. Oh, I thought, I'm going to go back on cabs. And then a job come up at MKM, Builders Merchants. And I've heard that MKM is brilliant to work for, brilliant firm and everything. So I applied and got it. So I went there, lasted 6 weeks. I hated it. It was just the way it was run, and lazy people and things like that. They left customers to fend for themselves, and no, it wasn't my way of working. So I did eventually go on the cabs again. So I went on the cabs for a bit, put weight on again. I thought, I'm not enjoying this time. It were on C cabs, and people knew that there's nothing you could do if they didn't pay you. Or if they could say, oh, my card's declined, or I'll just nip in here and get some money, or it won't let me take some money out and stuff like that. There's nothing you can do. You get shirty with them, you lose your badge, so you're out of work. Coppers don't want to know, so nah, I'm going to look for a job. So I'm looking, and I find one at Northwest Roofing Supplies, and honest to God, it's the best job I've ever had. I absolutely loved it. I'd still be there now if it weren't for my accident, but absolutely love that job. So now we're on 42, job 42. A forklift truck run over my foot just before Christmas, and it's not been right since. So I had to leave the job because I'm not sitting in an office answering phones all day. That's not me. I like to be out and about in the yard and, you know, doing stuff, lifting that, you know, because I'm Wreck-It Ralph. And, you know, so I handed my notice in, and with the money I got from the compensation, I thought I'd start a business up. So I started doing airport transfers, and I thought I'd try Uber as well. And I'm just stuck on Uber now. So what's that? 43 jobs. No, 44 actually, I've got wrote down here. 44 jobs since I left school. And that's not including doing discos, singing, and bits of other stuff I've done as well. You know, that's just the main jobs, because I have done bits in between, you know, to earn extra money. So, right, I hope you've enjoyed that and had a laugh. I've waffled on for what? Bloody hell, nearly half an hour here. I know some of my mates in Padiham are going to laugh their Oh, I laugh like hell at this because they're always taking the piss out of me. What are you doing this week, Oggy? I've not changed my job for, 6 months. But I think this is it now, Uber, and hopefully YouTube. So I'm going to try and get this YouTube channel going up. I've got, 325 subscribers now, but I'm going to have to keep banging videos out to get it over 1,000 so I can start making a bit of money out of it. And also I've got my band and my duo as well, so we're on the road soon. I've got a couple of gigs coming up. So it looks like that's it, hopefully. But watch this space, you never know what I'm doing next week. So thanks for watching Oggy's Vloggy. And please like, subscribe. And if you need any job advice, interview advice, just ask me because I have had over 100 interviews. I must have done. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.